We have a couple of games to get you started. These showcase games, an opportunity for these talented class of 21s to show who they are. We have two games this morning. We'll have a couple of matchups, the black team and the gold team, the Cardinal team and the gray team. And then after a short midday break, we'll have an opportunity to see in a combine form, if you've never watched a baseball showcase, you'll see athletes that will run the 60, and we'll share that with you at the end of the day. You'll see outfielders throw for velocity. You'll see infielders throw from the shortstop position. First baseman across the diamond, and catchers working on their velocity and their catcher pop times. And we'll explain all that when we get to that point, certainly. We want to treat all of you, especially those that are joining on MLB.com. Welcome to PerfectGame.tv. We're glad to have you with us. What a showcase looks like, what a combine in baseball looks like if you're a casual fan of the sport. We'll do our best to start with the basics today. And for those of you that know what you're looking at and you're passionate, bear with us. We're going to do a lot of explaining because it's fun to do. Batting practice will then wrap up the day starting at 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Eastern, and we'll get to see 4 different teams take batting practice. Perfect Game's Vice President of Player Personnel and are you a 4-decade scout yet? At least a 3+ decade scout, David Ronsley. My name is Darren Sutton. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us. So, David, these athletes today, as they get loose and have fun out on the diamond, they were shut down, many of them, besides their home workouts, for 3+ months. They really showed their stuff yesterday. There was some rawness, certainly, in the play. There was a little bit of dusting off that needed to be done. But, David, we had a lot of positive things go on in day one. And not looking for a full recap from you, but maybe just big picture thoughts.
Well, yesterday was a wonderful day. We really got to know 4 teams, over 100 players of very, very talented athletes very well. I'm really looking forward to the 2 games today because I'm going over the rosters, and I really feel I got to know the position players well. And we had so many good pitchers yesterday, and we talked about on yesterday's show, the difference that the layoff has impacted hitters, position players versus pitchers. And the pitchers were very, very impressive to me yesterday. A lot of them evidently had a great chance to throw. They've been on the mound. And they had the upper hand pretty much for the most part yesterday. So looking forward to a number of pitchers on the rosters who didn't throw yesterday. And then for the hitters to build. I think there's a couple hitters in particular, and I won't mention any names, that were a little rusty yesterday. They showed that they had not seen 90 to 95 mile an hour fastballs.
That makes sense, though, right? Doesn't it?
It makes complete sense, and it's not surprising. But I expect these are elite level athletes. These are the college All-Americans, the major league players, the draft choices of the future. They're going to make adjustments today. They know what they did yesterday. They know what they didn't do yesterday. There are going to be adjustments made, and I think we're going to see more the position players be comfortable. I say, as hitters, we saw some great defensive plays yesterday, no doubt. In fact, I'm going to try to think about more than 1 or 2 errors I saw in 22 innings of baseball. So the defense was top notch.
Wow.
The hitters, think about it. We saw great defense yesterday. We had any number of highlight plays that we could have run. But when I get down to it, I'm looking forward to guys pitching today like a Chase Petty from New Jersey, like a Jackson Baumeister, who's a top 2-way prospect, Tyler Fullman from Illinois. Arms that I think are going to stand out today if they've been able to get their work in over the last 2-3 months as we've had the layoff.
So interesting notes when you look back to yesterday. 22 pitchers threw 90 or above. 22 pitchers touched a 90 or above. Luke Hayden, to be specific, a talented pitcher, and a young man in Luke Hayden who is an Indiana commit, and a young man who is out of Indiana, was joined by another arm, a very talented arm, in Shane Panzini, was also at 95 miles an hour. This is a Virginia commit. So a little bit of what we saw yesterday, David. Why don't you read and react? And obviously, these are different players that have been a part of the events, and these are just some pictures from yesterday. Not expected any specific breakdown on anyone, but this is just kind of what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, well, that was just Casey Sauke yesterday from Rochester, New York, who had a great day. He was 93 off the mound, had a triple in the game, took a great round of batting practice, and he's played Rochester, New York during the spring. He was obviously able to play a lot, and he really showed well yesterday.
And the ability for athletes like that to get out, work right away.
we're going to be talking a lot about today because, Darren, you spent so much time. We see Malachi there with a great sliding play. I referenced the defense was just outstanding, and a number of outfield plays, especially showing range, showing speed. We see a very interesting play here, as I believe that is Holden, making that sliding catch. We saw Carter Jensen, we saw Josh Randall catching yesterday, showing their tools, and Josh Randall throwing out 2 base runners in 1 inning, and Carter Jensen sort of took over an inning himself. So we saw the defense. I think we're going to continue to see that because defense is athleticism. As we talk about in the drills, so much of defense. We see, I believe that's Darcy from Jay Serra there going back in center field using his 6'6" speed to chase that fly ball down in center. But defense is athleticism, and athleticism is going to be a constant, and certainly something that the scouts here, the college coaches watching on this streaming video are going to appreciate, and certainly something the Perfect Game scouts are here appreciating.